Mike of the week.
Next time, give it loud for everybody for Anthony Eugenio. Bring up your next time. Very funny. Wayne Russell, everybody.
Welcome to the Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne. I'm Anthony Eugenio, here with my co-host, Wayne Russell. How you doing, Wayne?
I'm doing awesome, Anthony. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Today, we're here to talk about our next mic. This is going to be a good one. We are going to Waltham, to a place we've never been before, called the Tempo Bistro. What do you know about Tempo Bistro, Wayne?
I don't know a lot. I stumbled across it on one of the Facebook groups that I follow. I saw the host, Danny, had posted about it. I guess this place has a trivia night on Tuesdays, 7 to 9, and the mic starts at 9, so hopefully there's going to be a crowd. I'm hoping that some of these people stay behind.
Yes, that is the first time we've ever had a pre-show before the show, so I am very hopeful that people are going to stick around for that. I am also very excited about their stage. I usually try to look up on Google the stages before we go on to get you all excited and shit, and they have a pretty nice one. It looks well lit. I always hate when you look on the comedy websites and you look for like a club you're about to do, and it's just a super well lit, like, I don't know, lounge, and you're like, fuck. Like, that's going to be really tough to do comedy under. This one looks like a good one.
It can be tough sometimes when you're looking somebody eye to eye and you feel like you're just sitting in a room with them, like a small room with them. When it's a little darker, it's a little more disconnection, you know?
Exactly. And you're like, let me tell you about my cock. And if you're doing that in the bright light, doesn't hit as well. You need to send that thought into darkness.
Yeah, it looks great. I looked up a couple pictures. It's a fairly new mic from what I could tell. The most recent history I could find, I think, was around April. But the last week's post that I saw said that there was quite a few people stayed behind. There was an audience, so I'm really hopeful for it. What are you planning on doing? Have you prepared anything new? Are you going to work on the same as last week? What is your plan for going into this?
So I have an update. So last week at Mike of the Week, I mentioned that I was working on a new joke that I was going to open with, which is very fucking stupid to do. But it went well, not too bad. So this week, it was at the Safe, and the Safe is awesome, and they are very supportive, as we always talk about, blah, 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 blah. But the beginning of my new joke could use some work. I called my wife a Kodiak bear, and which I thought was hilarious. And it didn't hit as hard as the rest of the bit, so I rewrote the beginning, more succinct, little physical comedy in there. So we'll see how that goes.
I have a really hard time with physical comedy. That's one thing I really want to do. But I think in order to do that, you have to be physical, and obviously I'm not. So...
Hey, you know that bit that I'm trying, so that one little thing. I don't know if that counts. Does that count as physical comedy, you think?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Anytime you're acting something out, I think it counts as physical. You don't have to be flopping around like Jim Carrey or whatever for it to be physical. But
oh man, can we take a quick aside? I watched the documentary of on Showtime, the Comedy Store, and they do a segment on Jim Carrey and all the impressions he used to do when he was doing a stand-up at the Comedy Store. And God damn it, man, was he good.
One of the most impressive things I've ever seen him do, have you ever seen him do, it's not even an impression because he's the character, but have you ever seen him do the Grinch without the makeup on?
No.
Look it up. The way he contorts his face to look like the Grinch
That's a cool thing, huh?
Oh, it's crazy.
He's the best impressions of all time, really. I think so.
He's really good. It's not just horrifying, but it's impressive. It's everything at once. You have a multitude of feelings where you're like, oh, I fucking hate that, but I love it at the same time. Look it up. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's amazing.
Well, interesting tidbit that I learned was that he was known only as an impressionist when he was getting famous at the Comedy Store. He just did them so good. And then I don't know if it was when he started doing In Living Color or when he got to movies, but at some point he just started going up on the Comedy Store stage and not doing impressions at all, which would piss people off because that's what they were going there for. Even Mitzi Shore was like, "What are you doing?" And he just was like, "I'm doing something new and I'm transitioning." And I think he sucked forever after that at stand-up. But then he, all the greatest movies ever.
I think that would be an interesting topic for us for one of our episodes. But some of the most highly regarded comics and why we don't think they're funny. Because I watch some comics that I'm like, obviously they're awesome. Everybody thinks they're hilarious, but I personally don't see it. I think that'd be a fun, like, top 5 list or something for us. This is a comic that everybody fucking loves, and this is why I hate them. Or not hate them, but this is why I don't find them funny.
Yeah. I wish this was 2014 so I could be ahead of the curve on Schumer. But, yeah, we all feel the same way. Okay, so we are going to a mic, and I am so excited about fucking Waltham. God damn it, driving to Waltham. That's going to be fun. And we are going to hopefully... The worst, let me tell you. So the worst mic that we've done, we talked about, has been in Jamaica Plain for the most part. And just be our experience, not the place itself. But I have to drive an hour and 20 minutes to go to Jamaica Plain. So to drive that fucking cock fucking far and go to that place and then say my jokes into silence is a lot tougher. I wish, like, if I bomb, I'm hoping, hey, listen, 10 minutes from me, clubs, you don't like me. Far away clubs, give me something. I'm trying here. I drove so far.
That can be a defeated feeling when you go to a club or whatever, an open mic so far away, and you leave with not the laughs that you wanted, because you feel like it's an extra wasted time. But it's not really wasted time because, well, in Jamaica Plain it is, and it is because
that place
nobody's
is a fucking
listening.
Waste of time.
Yeah, that place is a waste of time, and that's the reason we're not naming it. I mean, to be fair, we've only been there twice, but the 2 times were like 2 months apart, and it was the same exact experience. I don't know. There's that mic for somebody out there, but it's not for us. But yeah, it can feel like a waste of time.
Oops.
Yeah, so it might feel like a waste of time in most cases, or in some cases, but it's not, because if you have at least an attentive crowd and you don't get a laugh or whatever, at least you know. When it's someplace like that and it's not attentive, then it's a waste of time. It's almost like we talked about, or I talked about the mics with the buckets. I've never done one, and I never will, because I feel like that's a waste of my time. If I'm throwing my name in a hat for a chance to go up on stage and I don't get to go up, it's a waste of a night away from my kid and my family.
Well, here's an interesting question about that. What if, so the Comedy Store does the, I don't know, the hat thing, they're doing it by random, but you can get onto the Comedy Store stage. Would you go out there if you can brick across 4 to 5 days just for the chance to go up there? Or do you think that's not worth it?
For a place like the Comedy Store, 100% it's worth it. But for Joe's Tavern, like down the street from me, I'm not walking away from my kid and my wife for a chance to go into a corner of a bar where the closest person to me is drinking whiskey sours and smoking Pall Malls outside and waiting for their chance to try to get a bullseye on the dartboard. I'm just not doing it. But Comedy Store, yeah, absolutely. Any legit comedy club, I would do that. But the bar down the street, no. Just do a list. Just do a list, guys. Do a list. Cap it at 25.
Tavern for me.
Yeah, there's no Joe's Tavern around here. I'd kick him right the fuck out of my town.
Poor Joe. Never made it. He tried.
Before we go too far, I didn't talk about what I was going to do.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I made it all about me.
I don't matter. It's all right. It doesn't matter. It's going to be quick. I'm going to do the same thing I did last week. It went really well. That was my first time doing it. I'm going to try it again tonight. I'm
Wayne's
going to keep
cracked
it.
the code, and now he feels invincible.
Yeah, I don't think that I cracked the code, but I think I'm one step closer. I want to try it again with a different crowd. Waltham is not anywhere close to Lowell or Manchester in terms of I think the comics that go there. I think there's enough open mics around Lowell and Manchester and the surrounding towns where they don't have to travel down that far. But me and you like to try, expanding our horizons. And there's a lot of comics that do as well, but I don't think it's a majority of them that are going to drive on a random Tuesday night or whatever it is to go down to Waltham.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just seems that they stick to like the Lowell, Manchester, or the especially the Jamaica Plain. Felt like it was, this is where we do comedy. But I did hear, Jay Leno has said a lot, including on this week's podcast with Neil Brennan called Blocks. Jay Leno was on it, and he said, which is a great podcast, he said that when you get comfortable doing comedy somewhere, you need to leave. And you need to go do it somewhere else where you're not getting the laughs. Don't continue to go where you get the laughs because it's comfortable, because that won't increase the quality of your comedy. Like, we shit on Jamaica Plain for the ambiance and all of that, but maybe if we were better, like we could command the crowd to like Jim Carrey, like we were talking about. Jim Carrey would go in there, and I don't care, he would get that people to listen to him, and he would kill no matter what in any club, in any place in his prime, I think. Unless he wasn't doing impressions. He needs to do impressions. But that's the idea of what we're trying to do. We're trying to go to different clubs that are completely different crowds. Like, I think that within the next few weeks, we need to get to Boston. We keep trying. We keep going to the outskirts, Jamaica Plain. We're going to Waltham tonight, but we're not touching the one we need to go to.
Yeah, I agree 100%. As much as I like to stay where we are, where we are getting the laughs, that makes a lot of sense. I never heard Jay Leno talk about that, but it makes a ton of sense. It's the kind of thing that, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, and I mean, he did the same act for his entire goddamn career, so at some point I'm sure he wore out the places he went to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, do we have any closing thoughts on what's going to happen at Tempo Bistro?
No, I have really high hopes for it. I hope that the crowd sticks around. We might even get there a little early, check out some of the trivia. Trivia has never been my strong suit. I'm not a studious individual.
I like how you call yourself a fucking idiot. You call yourself a not studious individual. Like, I've never said that. I've only said I'm fucking stupid as the only way I've described myself. It's like, I'm not very... Like, the fact that you're postulating it like that means that you're a pretty smart guy. Or you're a fucking poser.
Yeah, I'm definitely a poser. That's all that is.
You stupid piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah,
okay,
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to going. I look forward to any open mic night. It's definitely where I like to be when I'm not with my family. So yeah, I have high hopes for it. How about yourself? You any thoughts on it? I kind of sprung it on you last minute.
Well, I gotta tell you, Waltham is a cunt of a drive, but I am excited to go. Like I said, we're inching towards Boston on our mics, on our way, and it's just another step on the quest for laughs, motherfucker.
It's true. So good. Well, we're gonna depart here in a few minutes. I'll see you down there. We'll check it out and. We'll find some parking lot or parking space or something, and we'll talk to you guys about how we did, what we did, and what we thought of it. And that's all we have for now.
Bye-bye.
What? It's a terrible thing. Either of you two paying attention like you I gave it the make you forget that I want to drown myself. That happened right there.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne reaction video. We are here in Waltham at Tempo Bistro, which they were really surprised we came here tonight. What do you think, Wayne?
Yeah, it definitely was surprising for them, I'm sure. There weren't too many people here tonight, so it was nice and quick. We were up on stage. I think there were 3 people ahead of us, and there was one person, 2 people after us, I think. And yeah, it was a nice quick night. Kind of a low turnout. I had a little more hope for it. They have a trivia night here right before the comedy starts. So from 7 to 9 they do trivia. 9 o'clock they start the comedy, and we were really hoping there was going to be more overflow from the trivia, but that didn't seem to be the case tonight.
Yes, but pluses to the Tempo Bistro. So sound was great, microphone was nice,
Sound was fantastic.
they had a great stage, good lighting, all of that was great.
Yep. The
And,
host was great. Danny was awesome.
Danny was awesome. Got a great host there. He's been doing comedy for 20 years, which is fucking awesome. And to host an open mic with us degenerates, he did it. But it was fun. You know, I know that there weren't a lot of people there, but when you know that going in, you kind of gauge based off of you can win some of them. And I think by the end of our sets, people definitely dismissed us when we walked up, and we definitely won some people over by the end. And I think really that's all we can ask for during this motherfucker.
Yeah, 100%. How did you feel based on what you were hoping for tonight versus the outcome for your jokes? What you'll hear before this segment what our hopes were coming here, what we were planning on working on. How did that all turn out for you?
So all I really wanted to do, so last week, as I hope you watched, you sons of bitches, we were at the Safe and we did fucking awesome. But the beginning of my set, I tried a brand new joke, and the punchline worked really well, but the setup needed some work. There wasn't. I called my wife a Kodiak grizzly bear, which to me is hilarious, but to the world, masses, just was not that funny. So tonight, I really wanted to work on a new setup for that bit, and I did it, and I think it did pretty good. Again, we don't really have much feedback, but I think it was funny. So I would say I wanted it to work, and I got, what is it in blackjack when you fucking, you don't win or lose? That's what
Draw?
happened. Yeah, we drawed
Or
tonight.
push?
We pushed
Yeah.
tonight. Pushed dicks into the mouths of everybody there, unsolicited.
Yeah.
You quite literally.
Yes, yeah. My joke is very dick-centric. Or so my whole set. Yeah, I went here. Well, I found this on Facebook literally today, and it's out of that Lowell, Manchester area, and it's a fairly decent drive for both of us. So it really worked out, the time, the drive. So I was really excited to try my same set from last week in front of what I was sure was going to be a new crowd of people that I've never met before. And I have to say, it was. And I was happy with the way it went. What I was not happy with was I stumbled over something, I think twice, that between practicing and doing it on stage, I've done dozens of times. And I don't know if I was a little jarred by how silent it was because of the lack of people there. But that's no excuse. That's something that you have to get over when you're doing open mics. That's going to happen.
Yeah, I had a silent one too. Had a good save out of it, which was quite lucky. They did say beforehand, which is completely fair because they had an incident before, that they didn't want any racist or homophobic material. I get it, especially if you had an incident before. So when I did bomb, I thought it was because it was hateful. So I made sure to ask the host, is ass play hateful? And luckily that got the energy back up and got me into laughs again, allowed me to get into the next bit, which was good way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. One thing here that, and this isn't on the venue at all, and it's something you see at every mic, but the few people that went before us, they went on stage, got off stage, and just jetted.
They did. If you're watching this, fuck you. We stayed and we clapped for you. You were shaking uncontrollably, and we still clapped for you, motherfucker. And then you got off the stage and you just walked away.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, I work early in the morning. Anthony works early in the morning. We both have kids. We get it. You want to get home. But I mean, there was like 7 people.
They were 17 years old. If they didn't have 20% Adderall running through their blood and veins, so much so that they could stay up for 36 hours straight, I would give them slack, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, we started at 9. We were walking out of there by 10. So even old fucks like us, we were okay.
I will say that over everything that we talked about today, that was a nice quick set.
It was so nice.
In and out.
It was so nice being able to actually be there early and be on stage early and not have a backlog or back-loaded set list.
Completely agree. Well, I think we're getting towards the end here. You got anything else to say before we wrap her up?
No, I have a lot of hope for this place. I think it's a fairly new place, a fairly new mic. So I don't know. Hopefully down the line they can gain some traction because it's like you said, it's a great stage. It's a great setup for comedy.
Good host. They just need some more people.
Yeah.
So come down to the Tempo Bistro in Waltham on Tuesdays and fucking go to it because it's a worthy step towards the quest for laughs.